This is NBA TV's NBA Action. This week, we'll check in with the defending champion Heat, along with Kevin Garnett and his Minnesota Timberwolves. Plus, we'll recap the players of the month for December. Spotlight Leandro Barbosa of the Phoenix Suns. And as always, we'll bring you the top 10 plays of the week.
Look at Dalembert on a perfect dish from Andre Iguodala. Get out! He's unstoppable! You cannot believe what we just saw!
Oh, man, what a dunk!
Tear up that rim, young fella! Sensational!
Ooh, I'm shaking in my chair!
We tip things off by going into the action in the East as we catch up with the defending champion Heat. As Pat Riley deals with health issues, assistant Ron Rothstein has taken over. And with Dwayne Wade also sidelined, the role players stepped up against Phoenix.
Gary Payton over on the left side moves the ball up and down on the dribble, being played defensive by Sean Marion of the Suns. Payton up top of the key. Hands it off to Jason Williams. Williams drives to the baseline, puts a shot up that scores, and is fouled on the play by Steve Nash. Jay Williams, right side. Cross-court Haslam, inside Doliak. He scores, countered, he's fouled. Thomas will pick up the foul over the top. Here's Quinn driving, and he scores. Took the ball down the left side, got the hoop, and Banks will pick up his second foul here. Quinn takes the ball into the lane area, then out to Height. His three-pointer is going to be short, but the rebound comes down to Height, shovels it nicely to Darrell Wright, and he scores.
But the Suns began to dominate the shorthanded Heat.
Not only play good defense, but he's got to score some points.
Nice pass, Stoudemire to Diaw.
Barbosa with 7 seconds to shoot it now. Gets it out to Diaw. Diaw to LB. Goes left, goes right. He puts up a high-arching shot that bounces in. Oh, brother!
Bosa!
It was a prayer. Let's get serious.
They have improved themselves defensively.
Nice pass.
Pass to finish. Stoudemire with his second pretty assist.
Miami battled to stay in the game behind veteran Alonzo Mourning.
Gary Payton over on the right side, out to Haslam, down low Mourning, look out, he jams him. They didn't have an answer for Alonzo Mourning. Jason Williams from Miami out between the circles of the basketball. Williams behind a Mourning screen, gives it back to Mourning on a pick and roll, and he flies in for a jam. Nice play by Miami. Barron takes it inside for a little jump hook that won't connect. Rebound battle, Mourning wins it and scores. Well, he's just tougher in there.
But Phoenix was just too much, and the Heat were headed for their 5th straight defeat.
8 seconds to get the shot. That's the time remaining in the third quarter. Jason Williams out front. Williams on the drive. The ball slips away. He loses it. Banks has it. Puts up a shot and scores it. Three-pointer by Banks. Oh, brother. Payton starts the drive to his right. And Stoudemire out there knocks it away. Now Stoudemire comes down. He goes to the basket and he scores. Doliak cover, puts it on the floor. Bounce it back to Payton. 6 seconds to shoot it. Payton has it bumped. Barbosa knocks it away. Banks picks it up. He comes down and scores. Marcus Banks.
You know, 4 guys that played heavy, obviously 2 superstars and 2 other guys who play a lot of minutes in their championship run not playing tonight. And, you know, we realize that it's tough on the guys to come in after not playing much and compete with a team that's, you know, got mostly everybody and playing well.
As the Heat moved to Portland, Dwayne Wade returned from his wrist injury, but the Trailblazers jumped out to an early 16-point lead.
Udoka finds Roy. Can he hit another 3? And again, Brandon Roy, 10 points in the quarter, and we haven't even played half the quarter. Dixon and Randolph working a 2-man game. How about Martell again? This time for 3. Webster having a half. Jarrett Jack turns the corner, drops it down low. McGlure collects and jams with the right hand.
Stopping runs on the road, but not at home.
Jarrett Jack right past to Wayne. Wade thought he had help behind him. There was none, and Jarrett has his first field goal of the game. The Blazers built their lead. It was because this guy was active. Brandon Roy just hasn't taken a lot of offensive shots. And Aldridge scoops up a miss by Roy and puts it in as the shot clock was winding down.
But then Miami's supporting cast helped them climb back into the game.
He's back 1-on-3. The baseline cutter, though, is right. He reverses it up and in. So Miami out doing some running now. Wade. Miami made a pretty good chunk of this run back with Wade out of the game. Capono got Rodriguez in the air, and boy, is he heating up now. Doliak camping the key, misses the shot, got the offensive board, and lays it in.
You got to go back to Zach, and right now it's Wade's a bigger problem than that.
Capono left wide open for three. The #1 three-point shooter in the NBA left 5 feet of space.
Wade took over down the stretch as the Heat snapped their losing streak.
Haslam to Wade. Wade practiced for the first time since the injury yesterday. They practiced at Portland State. That's a pretty good indication. Dwayne Wade feeling pretty good.
And if Zach works the pick and roll, I like Zach shooting the outside shot.
They lob it up to Wade. Nice pass from Jason Williams as Brandon Roy got caught in the pick.
Zach doesn't have to be the man.
Wade right down the middle, no resistance. And he dunks it home.
Next, it was off to Seattle, where the Heat fell behind once again in the first half, trailing by 10.
Picks up the dribble and his pass deflected right into the hands of Earl Watson. Earl up the forehead to Jimbo Ball. At the rim for the two-hand stuff. Jimbo Ball. Dwayne Wade is back in the ballgame. So is Alonzo Mourning, the team with the glove. Nice pass up top. Allen the lob at the rim. Repost. Watson over to get it back. Drives into the lane. Swings it up. Basketball. Has it again.
But Wade would lead the champions to another comeback victory, scoring 25 of his 29 points in the second half to go along with 13 assists.
Quick burst of speed. Spins through a double team. Nice handoff to Haslam for the two-hand slam. The Heat in the bonus at about 7 minutes. Wade between defenders. Drives into the lane. Switches right to left hand and finger rolled it up and in. Dwayne Wade.
Welcome back to NBA TV's NBA Action. Now we go back into the action, this time in the Western Conference, with a look at the Minnesota Timberwolves. As the Timberwolves welcomed San Antonio into town, all eyes were set on the matchup in the front court between two of the best forwards in the league.
Well, it's two Hall of Famers. You know, you got Tim Duncan, who's a Hall of Famer. You got KG, who's a Hall of Famer, to be both of them. And the supporting cast of Tim, they've been together for 5 or 6 years, which helps them on the road as well as at home. They know each other. So it's going to be a great matchup between those two. I just hope our Hall of Famer gets the best of their Hall of Famer.
Early on, it was the Wolves supporting cast that got things going, helping the team jump out to an 11-point first-quarter lead, thanks to some hot shooting and unselfish play. Minnesota kept up the pressure by outplaying the Spurs in every facet of the game, including the ever-important matchup in the paint between Kevin Garnett and Tim Duncan.
Duncan runs into KG and Kevin stuffs him.
But Duncan would not be kept down for long, and in the second half, he showed why he's won 3 rings as he led the Spurs back.
Better be looking at Duncan right now. Timmy gets around a pair of defenders, and the Spurs have their first lead.
The two perennial All-Stars continued to go back and forth as Garnett gave the Wolves a late lead while reaching a milestone.
KG looking to freelance. Gets by Duncan. Whips it around and he's fouled. And Kevin Garnett, in doing so, has passed the 18,000-point plateau.
The Spurs were able to force overtime, and in the extra session, Mark Blount and rookie Randy Foye helped the Timberwolves pull away.
Randy Foye, left alone, puts it down.
And with a 2-point lead on the game's final possession, it was the hustle of swingman Trenton Hassel on the offensive glass that sealed the deal.
And the Timberwolves will survive here at home against the San Antonio Spurs. Minnesota does a phenomenal job down the stretch.
With the Sixers in town 2 nights later, the Timberwolves fought back after trailing at halftime, but were still unable to slow down the Philadelphia attack.
Good spot, Iguodala runs for 2 and a foul.
The play of Andre Iguodala kept the Sixers in the game, but in the waning seconds of the fourth quarter, Garnett had an opportunity to win it for Minnesota.
Kevin Garnett, double team. Garnett for the lead. The miss, rebound, and we're going to overtime.
As the game continued, the Wolves kept getting the ball to their all-star forward. But despite KG's clutch shooting, they still couldn't put the Sixers away.
They get all on the Leandro, who heaves it through, and we're tied at 102.
Finally, with 3 seconds left in the game tied, Garnett got another chance to play the hero for Minnesota.
Here it is, Garnett against Dalembert for the win.
The Timberwolves continued their homestand against the Houston Rockets, and for the third straight game, they were forced into overtime. And once again, they played their best basketball in the extra session.
Down the corner, Davis fires a three in the air. Yes, sir! Minnesota by 3!
That three-point lead was still intact in the final minute as Mike James drove and iced the game for the T-Wolves, who made it 4 wins in a row.
And the Timberwolves survive again, their third consecutive overtime win. 2007 remains perfect for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
We're back with more of NBA TV's NBA Action. Time to log on to NBA.com for a look at the NBA Players of the Month for December. The Player of the Month in the East was the Wizards' Gilbert Arenas, who averaged 34 points and was on fire.
Arenas runs the other way. Nice fake. Gets around everybody. Lay it up and in! There is nothing he can't do.
It's like the ball is on a string and he can pull it either way with either hand in any direction.
Arenas draws contact and he scores.
Moving on the screen, drawing the contact, and Gilbert able to get the ball in off glass.
Gilbert scored the field goal.
If there's any kind of opening, he's going to split that defense. Boom, switches to the left hand and finishes it nicely.
Arenas for 3. Banks it in! Gilbert Arenas with 54. I'm taking this one in Raja Bell's face. Banks it in.
Final seconds, Arenas, another 3 at the buzzer. Banks it in! He does it again! Gilbert Arenas, 2 consecutive quarters from way downtown. What a finish for Arenas.
He may get 100, but that might not be enough.
Arenas.
Oh, my God.
0.3 on the clock. Gilbert Arenas, 17 in the quarter.
It's Arenas for 3. Boy, what a night for Gilbert. That's Gilbert Arenas to 58 points. So that's a franchise record. He has topped the total of Earl Monroe.
The Lakers' Kobe Bryant took home the honors in the West, averaging 31 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists.
Kobe on the baseline against Shane Battier. Altered it, still got it. Unbelievable. How acrobatic was that on the baseline under the basket?
Talk about hang time. Well, the only way you can have hang time is if you elevate.
Carney had it intercepted. Parker initially slapped it away. Bryant behind the back to Brian Cook. Bryant leads the Lakers in assists, averaging 5 per game.
Phil Jackson said, I was embarrassed by the effort. No embarrassment there on the feed from Luke Walton to Kobe Bryant. Wow.
As you mentioned, very quiet for Kobe and Lamar Odom.
Bryant again!
He played his heart out tonight.
Kobe Bryant!
Wow! Right around the Great Wall.
Final seconds of the half. Bryant playing for a last shot. Gets the pick. Bryant to the rim. Whoa! Serve up a facial.
Now we check out some of the week's most entertaining moments in the latest edition of I Love This Game. It was another fun-filled week in the NBA, so get the cameras ready as you look for that great shot.
Same pick and roll. Ray goes the other way. Puts it up and in and draws the foul.
And he can finish shots with circus atmosphere.
Oh, a cute couple always makes for a good photo opportunity, but nothing grabs airtime like a bold new fashion statement.
Reggie Evans, that's the look, man.
But in Chicago, Leandro Barbosa made a statement with his shooting.
Barbosa for 3, hit it! The home run by Barbosa.
If that shocking moment made you feel like you were spinning around in circles, Just imagine how the Toronto Raptors felt after witnessing this play that was pulled off by Jason Kidd and company.
Oh, what a play! Kidd to Jefferson! Jason Kidd with assist number 7.
I can't even begin to describe that play.
This flying Blazer should have given some pointers to another flying Blazer.
Goes inside.
Because sometimes when you're just rolling along, life throws you another twist.
James.
Kind of like the one the Bucks received in Washington, courtesy of Agent Zero himself, Gilbert Arenas.
3 seconds, right of the center circle. Arenas well beyond the arc for 3. It's there! It's there! It's there!
But remember, when life becomes a free-for-all, it's important to stay calm, cool, and collected, even if you end up getting more than you bargained for.
Oops.
And if you really want to flip out, check out Orlando's Trevor Ariza.
Oh, Trevor Ariza rises over the pack.
Time now for more of NBA TV's NBA Action. Now let's meet the Phoenix Suns' rising star from Brazil, Leandro Barbosa, in this week's Time Out.
I love this country. Just be from here is really good. My neighborhood was really bad, and everybody knew that I play basketball, that I do sport. One thing that I really love that neighborhood is that they knew who I was, and they knew that I could have a lot of talent. They helped me too, and I never will forget about that.
Leandro wouldn't have made it to the NBA without the guidance of his brother Arturo, a first sergeant in the Brazilian military. 21 years separate the brothers, and Arturo called upon his strict combat training to turn Leandro into a disciplined basketball player.
The first time I see him in the court, Leandro have 5 years. I say for him, come on, man. I want you take the ball, and I want you put the ball there. And Leandro, take ball in your hand, ball, boom, ball, boom, ball, and when Leandro do that, I'm crazy. I'm happy. Understand? Because I see he's very, learn very easy. And he saw one thing on myself that was a talent, and every day we always do that. I going Leandro dribble with one hand and other hand take everything is in the floor and put it in another place. He was with me all the time trying to teach me for me can be a good player, and I built another dream, and my dream was to come to the NBA.
Barbosa realized his dream when he was chosen in the first round of the 2003 draft. But Leandro wanted to make sure the dream was real, and he remembers his first night as a Phoenix Sun.
I said to the manager that I wanted to be there. I don't want to go to hotel. And he said, and where are you going to sleep? In the ground. And he said, you cannot sleep in the ground. I say, I can sleep in the ground. It was worse for me when I was a kid. This is nothing. This is really comfortable and a nice carpet. So I got pillow, turned the TV on, and stayed there until the next day. And the guys got there and see me, what are you doing? I say, just having fun, trying to believe that this is true.
Suns up by 4. Nash on a bounce. Underneath, it's Barbosa. Barbosa was having a strong game against the Nets, just like he drew it up with assistant coach Dan D'Antoni a few hours earlier at shoot-around.
That's who they usually look to. So they'll throw it to him. You might come off your man and intercept the pass. You know what I'm saying? Because that's who the guy they're trying to go to.
At the game, like always before the game, he always write on a paper for me to tell me what I'm supposed to do, what I'm not supposed to do. He always talk to me. I feel good about that.
Skill-wise, if you just evaluate him on skills, he's one of the best shooters in the NBA. Maybe the fastest with the ball, with length to finish at the rim. So when you combine all those and his willingness to play defense and be a team player and try to get his team to win, it makes for a good player. I mean, the sky's the limit. I wouldn't shortchange him on anything.
Barbosa having a bust-out year, now in his 4th season in the NBA out of Brazil.
Barbosa is so fast and deceptive, he can get anywhere on the floor that he wants to.
Yeah, Leandro's playing great. You know, he's a magnificent scorer. He's probably one of the fastest guys in the league. He gets a lot of fast break points, and he's explosive.
Leandro is my candidate for 6th Man of the Year. I mean, I don't think there's anyone that does more for his team in a limited amount of minutes.
Leandro Barbosa. Boy, he knows how to score. 11 points in 19 minutes.
He's one of the fastest guys in the league with a great jump shot. So really, there's no reason for him not to be really good. And he's coming on. He's been great for us, and we expect him to keep getting better.
I'm really happy right now. My confidence is really high. We have a good team. No one here is selfish, and I think this is really important. And I feel like they are my family, and I think this is good.
Welcome back to NBA TV's NBA Action. Now it's time for the top 10 plays of the week in our NBA TV Countdown. At 10, it's Tim Duncan freezing everyone.
Drops to Parker. Oh, Baba! Dishing it. Tim Duncan to Tony Parker.
At number 9, Andrew Bynum makes his presence felt in L.A.
Dooley. And Bynum came over in time and puts it right back at him.
Keon Dooley he was winding up to throw it down.
Number 8 is a circus shot from the master, Dwayne Wade.
To stay in the room. Oh, baby.
Superman just took off on another flight without his cape.
How does he do that?
At 7, Tony Parker shows off his dribbling skill.
And here's Parker again. Wheeling and dealing, and Ginobili scores! Cut it out. They're having way too much fun out there.
At 6, it's Luther Headstern to try to throw one down on the Lakers.
Luther ahead on the run. And a one-hander by the little guy.
And that got the crowd out of their seat.
Number 5 is Willie Green on a drive through Milwaukee.
A little over 3 minutes in the first quarter. Willie Green.
Well, that's 4 straight down the paint.
At 4, Jason Kidd shows why he's unstoppable on the break.
Oh, what a play! Kidd to Jefferson!
Pushing the ball in transition. I can't even begin to describe that play.
At 3, it's Steve Nash with the no-look dish.
Picked up by Diaw, Nash, Marion. Spectacular basketball by the Phoenix Suns. We're on a 15-0 run.
It's a clinic.
At number 2, it's D. Wade getting it done once again.
Wade goes the other way. Puts it up and in and draws the foul.
Once you hear that whistle, you should absolutely hold and grab onto him because he finishes plays while people are standing still.
And with our top play of the week, it's Detroit's Carlos Delfino.
Carlos to the corner, to the baseline, to the rim, and a tomahawk! Whoa, what a throw down there by Carlos Delfino on the drive.
Woo! That was over Emeka Okafor with emphasis.
That's our show for this week. I'm Ian Eagle for NBA TV's NBA Action. We'll see you next week.